Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are, Farzana.
Yeah.
So let us start. I was just waiting for a couple of minutes. Okay, I announced it. Might probably you didn't listen there, but it's all right. Let us start now. Okay. So before start, I just would like to aware about couple of the background from your side, like from which country you are you a working professional or no? Okay. If you are working professional, are you aware about FI technology? Very new about it. What is the purpose of the like what is the purpose you wanted to achieve through this course, and very little introduction actually. Okay, so it would be great if you can please start.
Yeah. Hi, I am from India. I belong to Mumbai.
Sorry,
From
your
Mumbai.
voice is very low.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, better.
Yeah, I am from Mumbai, India.
Okay,
Yeah, I am working in networking field. I am a CCIE in routing and switching, and I am
great.
currently working in entity
Mm-hmm,
GDC. Yeah.
mm-hmm,
My pure background is in in routing switching. I had worked as a security engineer also for Palo Alto checkpoint, but not so in a deep PA for the SBI client. Um, and FI, the reason for me to learn FI uh, in any data center or in any scenarios, we do have an FI as a load balancer. Okay, so I was very keen to know about this technology because it's somewhere somehow it is there in whatever infrastructure you take it, let it be in a DC or in any setup.
true.
And yeah, so currently, if just to add on my profile, plain routing and switching, I mean, it's not enough now. So my I thought like to go for FI. I was interested in FI. I had learned it, I mean, little bit, but I never get it a chance to to learn syllabus wise properly. Anyhow, and here there I had worked on FI as well. Yeah,
Okay, makes sense.
yeah.
Thank you, Farzana. Thank you both of you. Let me introduce myself before proceeding further. Okay, myself is Radhe Verma, and I would be your instructor throughout this course. Okay, for FILTM. Maybe in future, if you are coming for further modules for FI like GTM, ASM, APM, bit like that, I would be happy to work with you guys on that platform also. Apart from that, what I teach is CCI Enterprise, maybe the sub part of it SD-WAN, then Python, automation, okay, for Cisco F5 and maybe different security appliances. Apart from that, I do teach, okay, I talked about F5 family, like LTM, GTM, ASM and all. Then apart from it, wireless, okay, the Wi-Fi technology, data center technologies, these all classes currently I am taking in this NetMinion and associated from the like more than 5 to 7 years now. Okay. So apart from it, I am a working professional. So whatever I would be going to teach, I will teach you in a way that you can implement it in your production with. Okay. So I'm acting as a solution architect in one of the MNC. So probably it would be good, like uh, with you people, like you are already having a good experience and having a good degrees. So might be you will be able to understand each and every technology in a very seamless way. Okay. Enough said. Let us start with F5. Do let me know if my screen is visible to you. Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fine, perfect. So on the screen, you can see we are talking about F5 ADC or big IP LTM. There are some terms like F5, ADC, LTM, big IPs. I hope before starting in, we should be aware about these terms. Okay. So let us start with F5. Bit like your Cisco networks, bit like your Polo networks, there is an organization named as F5 Networks. Okay. Or it is a vendor, maybe you can say. So when we are saying F5 LTM, LTM stands for Local Traffic Manager. Okay. So local traffic manager, it is a product offered by F5. This is product offered by F5, which is specialized in application delivery and the security solution. So when we are saying F5 load balancer, it means we are talking about something more than load balancer. It is named as ADC. ADC means application, then delivery controller, which means F5 is way beyond than simple load balancing thing. It play a really very crucial role in enhancing the availability, performance, and the security for the application, whatever you place in the data center or maybe in the cloud environment, howsoever you are, you know, hosting your websites. So it is really useful for the organization to ensure the efficient and reliability delivery through F5 products. Okay, let me proceed further. Please stop me whenever you have any doubt so that I can clear you there then and there. So as I told you, F5 Networks is a organization, company. And F5 Big IP is a product suite offered by F5 Networks that again including a lot of different range with respect to the networking and security solution that is designed to optimize and secure the delivery of your application. So big IP platform means it is a product suite. Okay. And here in big IP LTM, in next slide, I would be going to talk about that in big, even in big IP, there are different modules. I would be going to talk about that in a moment. Enterprise Manager Series. See, this is the old name. Okay, this is the former name for Big IQ. Currently, it is named with Big IQ. Big IQ is bit like, Farjana, if you have worked on the Cisco Prime. Have you worked on Cisco Prime?
Yes.
So that is what? That is a bit like
Management.
centralized management, right?
Centralized management.
Similarly,
yes.
Here for the centralized management and orchestration platform offered by F5, there is a product name as Big IQ. Okay. It again offers various features to simplify the management and administration of F5 products and its services. Okay. So Big IQ is another product from this family, and there are a lot of from data center solutions also. But here we gathered together to read about big IP products. So you can see on the screen, as you can able to see, big IP product suite further containing a lot of modules. So you can see these are the examples depending upon the features and the capabilities provided by F5 big IP platforms. So like you can see here LTM, what we are gonna read about, okay, in the 20 hours approximately time. LTM stands for Local Traffic Manager. I already talked about it. And in general, people in day-to-day talk used to say that F5 load balancer. Okay, but it is way more than the load balancer that we will be gonna talk about in our today's class also and ongoing classes also. Second, you can see the GTM, okay, Global Traffic Manager. Really very useful for and all of the big giants. If you take name Facebook, okay, Facebook or Amazon or whatever name you take, okay, even in the cloud also. So you are using DNS a lot. New name is DNS. Sorry, I forget it all. So GTM new name is DNS. So you will gonna use the DNS a lot with respect to the GSLB solution, with respect to the maybe you can say DNS regulation. you required something. So there we use F5 products, a lot named as GTM, which is the former name. New name is DNS. Similarly, you can see here couple of more products available like ASM. Okay, ASM is for the security module. Like when you are having HTTP or HTTPS kind of traffic, for the layer 7 security, which your Palo Alto or maybe other firewalls cannot provide up to that extent. I'm not denying that Palo Alto is not intercepting till layer 7. It is, but not up to that extent what ASM can provide. And its new name is Advanced Web Application Firewall. Okay. Similarly, you can say for the policy kind of thing, okay, for your single sign-on and for your efficient remote access controls policies, you will use APM in your environment. So there are a lot of other modules also like AFM, okay, application firewall module. So there are a lot of modules, but the base of every module, maybe you can say, that is LTM, which we will be going to discuss in our classes. Any doubts so far? Okay.
No, good so far.
Let's proceed further then. So in this particular slide, you can see traffic is coming from this client, and this traffic is redistributed among the different servers uniformly, which is the work of load balancer. What load balancer does? It distributes the load, right, among different of our servers equally. So here we are just showing about the same, but it's all right. We will be going to discuss about it in a moment. Okay. On this slide, we are talking about GTM, that how GTM works. GTM works like, I will not take much time of yours for the GTM because it's not a GTM class. But just for the information, you should be aware about. GTM is bit like named as GSLB, which is Global Server Load Balancing. It means whenever some DNS query will come, okay, I am not talking about the application traffic. Here I am just focusing on the DNS traffic. So whenever your DNS traffic will come, that DNS query can go to more than one data center. You can see it is data center 1, let us say it is for EMEA region. It's a data center 2, let us say it's for the APAC or for the US region, whatever. Okay. When you need to balance the load among two different data centers altogether, then DNS will come into the picture. And you can see it's easily like how DNS is working. But again, DNS by its own has a lot of scope for the learning, okay? Even 20 and 20 plus hours of course. Now, if you talk about ASM, the Application Security Manager, and the new name is Advanced Web. As you can see, if my request is not legitimate or it is an illegal request, it will be get stopped on the ASM layer. It won't be sent to the application servers. So application servers will not be able to, receive that malicious traffic because ASM is able to recognize that this is a vulnerable request, not good request. It's coming from the hacker. It will stop then and there. And it works on only layer 7. Okay. If we talk about the OSI layers, you are aware already. So it's work on the layer 7. So that is how your ASM works. But again, our purpose is not to talk about ASM. I'm just giving you the overview, okay, so that you can able to relate. Like not only the LTM is the one which is working in the market, but there is way more, beyond that. There are a lot of products which are really leading in the market from F5. Okay. Now, in this slide, we are just talking about the BIGIP platforms. Just for the visual purpose, I am using slide, but like you need to focus on my words when I am speaking because slide is not depicting everything. So F5 networks offer both of the appliances, either it is virtual or it is hardware. So virtual appliances like what? Like you need to, or maybe I can say those appliances, the virtual appliances are those which provide the same functionalities like your hardware counterparts are giving, but they can be built on the cloud environment. They can be built on the maybe ESXi host or KVM or maybe Citrix or whatever you can say the hypervisors you if you have available. You can just place over there if every requirement is meeting, and you can run switch on those instance, and it will be useful for you. Whereas if your environment is as such that you required very high performance, reliability, scalability, and you required some kind of dedicated hardware. In that scenarios, you can go ahead and purchase the hardware appliances. Hardware appliances have different series, like because you are from networking, I can give you some of examples. If we wanted to go for SD-WAN, we cannot use the old iOS, right? We need to bring up the software also need to be get changed for the SD-WAN with Tela solution. Either we are going for the VH, or if we are using CH, probably we need to upgrade the images. Similarly, here also, in case of big IP platforms, when you are using F5LTM or maybe any, we are not touching the modules currently, we are talking about the hardware. You have something named as I series. Okay, I series. Big IP I series. Appliances again designed for the high performance and suitable for the organization that required very powerful application delivery capabilities. Okay. Then there is one series named as Velo. It's not the Velo Cloud. So this is Velo series. Okay. Again, these series are important for your, maybe you can say, for service provider thing. Very high end series. You can have C series also, and you can have Viprion chassis, that is a chassis basis system. You can have 2K series, you can have 3K, 4K, bit like that. You have different, hardware available. But let me tell you, whenever you wanted to place some, like with respect to design, I am talking now, it's not the F5, it's a common thing. Like you need to go through the different data sheets whenever you need to place any of the system in your data center. I hope is it fine so far?
Yes.
Sure. I'm just showing here the design of one of the device 11,000 front view. But let me tell you, the physical design and layout of the hardware appliances may vary depending upon your like different versions. So you can see here front panel interfaces, power supplies, cooling systems, and all of those things, right? You can see the rear view, front view. I hope that is fine. Let's jump to the main slide now. Here we can see the slide is packet-based design. What is packet-based design, if I will ask? Would you like to speak up on this, Farzana? This is not related to FI. That's only networking part. So packet-based design is yeah. Good.
No, it's just like just wanted to say on like the traffic, the load balancing or everything will happen on the packet based single.
Right. So what I mean to say, here we are not introducing load balancing.
Mm-hmm.
Packet-based design, maybe let me talk in a way like it is a basic foundation aspect of any of the computer networking, or maybe you can say any reliable data communications. Okay. Packet-based designs is an approach probably. So this approach means like how the packets are constructed, how they are processed, how they are transmitted, and how they are received on the other end. Okay. So if we talk about a general view, like if we have a router or switch in between, how packet-based design work, like your there is some client. This side, left hand side, you can see there is a client. Right hand side, you can see there is server. Okay. When clients are going for any of the requests, it may be HTTP, HTTPS, or whatever request it is. Okay. When client need to reach to the server, they will form a packet. This packet will go through your router and will go to the application server. And again, application server will give you the response, and it will again come through the router and will reach to the client. I hope very simple thing. There should not be an issue in this. Is there?
No, normal communication. Yeah.
Normal communication. Yes. So request and response you can see. Let me proceed further. Okay. Because this slide is the, maybe you can say, heart of today's class. But when we talk about proxies, what the proxy is? General, like what the proxy? If you,
Behalf of a someone else.
I'm sorry,
Behalf of a someone else. Like on
right,
behalf of a someone
behalf
else's.
on someone else, right, right. But if I will say like this, that proxy play a very crucial role. We are aware. Why? Because it can provide a layer of control. It provides the security. It provides the optimization between the clients and server. Which means if there is a client, there are some clients, and these clients need to go to the internet. Before that, we can place some kind of proxy. Okay. I'm not taking any vendor name. And this proxy will interact with the, let us say, any of the server, fi.com or any of the server, okay, on the cloud. So I'm not talking about the data center of that different backend. I'm just talking about the front side. Why? Because proxy also can work in one of the two modes. Either it can act as a forward proxy, or it can act as a reverse proxy. When we are saying about forward proxy, we can also say this is client side proxy. When we are talking about reverse proxy, we can also say this is server side proxy. So what the forward proxy means? Forward proxy or the client side proxy is the proxy that is positioned in between the clients, like this, in between the clients and the network. So it will act on the behalf of client. By that way, you are securing your environment. You can do the filtering, you can do the performance on the depending upon caching. Okay, so various features or purpose can be fulfilled by a proxy. This is diagram dedicated for the forward proxy. Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Whereas, let us say if some client is coming, okay, before the client, if there is a proxy or no, I don't know. Client is coming and client is coming to my data set. But obvious, there are different layers. There can be Arbor solution, IPS, IDS, blah, blah, blah for the DDoS attack. Then there would be a router, there would be a firewall, and after the firewall, there would be an FI device, and post that there would be a server, okay, application server. But let me tell you, this device, which is securing your web servers from the public access, is also acting as proxy, and this is a reverse proxy or the server side proxy. So server side or reverse proxy is positioned on the server side of the network and serve as an intermediary for your servers only. So when client will make any request to access the resources on the hosted of server, the requests are first directed to the reverse proxy, rather than server itself. And these both type of proxies play a very essential role in your network architecture, depending upon your different requirement or needs or goals. Okay, but forward proxies are used to mediate the request from client to external resource, whereas reverse proxy is on another way. Okay, but both of the way they are providing, offering you security, load balancing, performance optimization, and these kind of features. Are you getting this point? Or any question?
But both works similar manner, right?
They are working in a
Oh.
similar manner, right? Now, if you will go to the NetMinion blog, okay, maybe where is F5, F5, F5. Can you see this blog? Please go through it once. Huh? You will be able to understand more. Let me share the link also. There are more blogs as well. As per your choice, you can go there as well. Now, what I was about to talk by default. Okay, I am taking this word by default. By default, your F5 product family or the big IP suite devices or modules act as a full proxy device, which means if you position it in front of clients, they can act as a forward proxy. If you are positioned it in front of servers, they can act as a reverse proxy. So they can act as a forward proxy and reverse proxy both. Let me give an example. Let us say this is your LTM device. When clients are coming to access the resource on the servers, it is acting as a reverse proxy. But let us say this server need to interact with some of the device which is sitting on the internet. Okay. So when it is raising that request is going further. It is acting as a, and when both of the devices, like your one device, can act as an forward proxy and reverse proxy both, that device is named as, come on, tell me, full proxy. Okay.
So here you mean to say when a user is trying to access to some server internal, that's a reverse proxy,
That is
and when a
forward. That is forward proxy. But when, see, let me tell you again. See, forward proxy is something when you are placing before the clients. Reverse proxy is something when you are placing before the servers.
Okay.
So when you are hiding your server network, reverse proxy. When you are hiding your client network with respect to the client, forward proxy.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay. But usually in a real scenario, we place near the servers. So,
Yes. It acts as a reverse proxy. Maximum time.
maximum time. Yes. Okay.
Either you are using LTM, either you are using ASM, it is acting as a reverse proxy. Now let me tell you one more thing. In contrast to our packet design, where client is communicating with the server, router is in between. When your request is going through like this response. So your request and your response was going, sorry, spelling is through the device, right? Whereas if I will create again the same diagram, instead of router, I am just creating the LTM device. Now your request will go like this, response will go like this. It will generate another request, it will generate another response. It means it is going to, not through. Making the difference. Able to recognize what is the difference for the proxy design and the packet design?
Yes, yes.
So if in earlier case, if there is some kind of TCP handshake, that would be gonna, come from your client to the server directly. But this time handshake will be done even 2 times. One time with client to F5, second time with F5 to the server. So that is your full proxy. Here under the full proxy, you can see the connection is proxied. It means your connection is intervened, and it can be even your packet can be changed, packet can be intercepted, packet can be, stopped, or packet can be modified on the level of big IP system. So in case of full proxy design, it is proxy. So you can see there are 2 sessions which are represented over there. One between big IP and the client, one between the big IP and server. So for this client, when request is coming, response is, back. For them, they are not aware that application servers are sitting somewhere else, or this is the application server. For them, this is the application server. Whereas in background, it is doing the destination NAT and again, doing all those magic, finding out the resource and giving that resource to the clients as per their request. Any doubt?
No, good.
Fine. So since it is managing the full proxy architecture, there would be 2 types of TCP handshake that it is shown in the diagram. Connection will be proxied. We have already discussed about it. Now let me show you further. It can view or modify the traffic behavior. Secondly, you can just convert the IPv4 to IPv6 and IPv6 to IPv4 respectively, which means, let us say your servers are very new, they are working on IPv6. So this side you can have IPv6 and the clients are still using IPv4. It can be a scenario or vice versa. Anything is possible because it is a full proxy design. Second, maybe after this SDN, software defined networking, which is maybe SD-WAN in case of WAN, it can be SD-access in case of LAN. For data center, it is ACI. Okay, different solution. Before that, internet crunch was one of the very big problem for in our industry, IT industry, right? But now probably we don't require such kind of compression profiles explicitly, but in earlier case, it is one of the unique selling point of this device. So whenever they were saying with respect to the sales, this point was really very big point for the compression, for the fast, communication, lower latency, like that. Encryption, I hope you are already aware that whenever any device interact with server, instead of going the communication through HTTP protocol, we use HTTPS. S stands for secure, okay? And for this S, we require the certificates. Are you aware or no? Not completely, just about, overview, like you are aware about such certificate things exist.
Yes, aware.
Fine. So what happened is certificate management in itself is very big deal. Okay. What we can do, we can say that instead of doing this encryption and unencryption, decryption on the level of servers, let F5 import all of the application certificates and from client. Okay, let me just create a diagram very quickly so that you can make to figure it out what I am telling. Let us say you have an application onboarded and some users are accessing it over the internet. And when they are coming for our application, it will be hosted on the data center and there are different layers. I am not creating everything. I'm just saying like servers up here. So when clients are coming till F5, man in middle attack can happen. So the very first layer of the security is to providing HTTPS. F5, if there are n number of applications, let us say 100 applications, okay, in our data center, then all the certificates will be imported on F5. So from clients to F5, there would be HTTPS. From F5 to the server, because it is in my data center only, this can be HTTP request. Okay. We will be going to discuss about this certificate management, how this encryption decryption work, what is the handshake, SSL handshake or TLS handshake, how it works. We will be going to discuss about those points, including Wireshark. But for now, as an overview, is it fine?
Yes, fine.
So over here, you can see there is encrypted or unencrypted. It can be encrypted, encrypted. It can be unencrypted, unencrypted, like howsoever you wanted to play with. But let me tell you, generally we have encrypted and unencrypted, but depending upon the design to design. Then whenever you are say sharing layer 7 data, especially with ASM, okay, the application security module, it really does a lot with respect to the security and it can modify the data. This particular slide, any question, please ask. Okay. So F5 is not only providing you load balancing, but the security, availability, access and identity, performance, mobility, lot of things that we will be gonna check in a moment. Now let's proceed for our next slide. And here you can see couple of more terms. Okay, can you see one thing named as TMOS here, TMOS? This stands for Traffic Management Operating System, which is a proprietary operating system developed by your F5 networks for especially your big IP platforms. When I am talking about big IP platform, it can be LTM, GTM, ASM, APM, blah, 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 blah. For all of them, OS is same. Bit like you can have from Cisco iOS, NXOS, AirOS, okay, depending upon different product family. Similarly, it has a same operating system named as TMOS. Clear? Like any other vendor, F5 also, like this TMOS also utilizing Linux operating system. So base is Linux. And on the top of what? You can have different modules. When I'm saying Linux, it means that you have a Linux, and on the top of Linux, give me a minute. Okay. On the top of Linux, you have developed your operating system. So when you log in into the CLI of F5, you can go in one of the two modes. One, you can go in the Linux mode. That is also named as bash utility or bash utility or advanced shell. Or you can go in this operating system named as TMOS, putting the command like TMSH, traffic management shell. That okay, I wanted to go into the traffic management shell, which will bring you in the TMOS. But when you are going into the GUI, it means you are going into the TMOS directly. Are these points clear to you? And TMOS serve as a foundation of FI product, big IP product family. Okay, provide the core functionality to deliver these, high advanced features and capabilities from the F5. So it is handling a very complex task associated and managing the network traffic. No questions?
No,
Okay.
good so far.
Then you can see there is something written here as IF. IF is a short form for F5 integrated application templates. It is nothing but it is a feature of your FI network big IP platform that simplify the deployment, or maybe you can say management of the application by providing a framework of automation in your configuration of various of the resources. If I give you an example to relate it with RR of the BGP, are you able to recall the RR in the BGP? Sorry, not RR. What is wait, the peer groups? The peer groups in the BGP. Okay, are you able to relate that peer group in the BGP? What is that?
Peer group is like you can add multiple. I mean,
Settings,
common,
multiple
yeah,
settings or configurations commonly, right?
yes, multiple, yeah, common
Similarly,
settings.
yeah. Similarly, here also we can, let us say we wanted to deploy different web applications which are similar in the nature, like configuring the virtual server, different virtual server, but the load balancing pools, SSL settings, security policies, a lot of other configuration or components are bit like consistent. Then we can use this IF setting. Okay. Now let's move to further things on this page. You can see SSL we talked about, compression we talked about. Okay, full proxy we talked about. iRules. iRule is again and very most demanding feature. This, okay, let me tell in some other way. Let me go to the whiteboard. Let us say if you have a router functionality or its nature somewhat is defined by its code, right? But there is a company XYZ. They wanted to change the default behavior of the routing or maybe routing protocol or some way they wanted to alter the default behavior. Is it possible? No. Why? Cisco say, sorry, we have these features predefined, and for your company who is buying only 10 devices, we cannot modify our whole code. Whereas if you are coming up with the 1,000 of the devices or maybe 10,000 of the devices, whatever their minimum criteria, we can say to our developer to make some modification for only for you people. Okay, so that is the way like we can alter. But let me say in case of F5, what they people are saying that okay, this is my default behavior that whenever any device is coming, whenever any traffic is coming, it will land to the virtual IP or the virtual server, and there is one pool. Under the pool, there can be some servers. Okay, this is default behavior. But let us say I am saying if user is coming from Japan, he should land up to the Japan pool. If he is coming to the from the US, he should go to the US pool. By default, if you are not able to understand these names, it's all right. You can say that like by default, there is some configuration that one virtual server can have one pool. But my demand is one virtual server can have two pool on the depending upon some of the business logic. FI says that okay, you can build up your own logic depending upon the I rule, which is nothing but a very simple tool command language TCL. Okay, depending upon that, you can just create your own script, and that's complex. I rules also you can write down. You can write down a very simple I rule also, but it is significant for customization capability. But yes, you need to have solid understanding, and your network concept should be good when you are writing down such a specific rules for your scripting language. Is this fine? Any doubt? Maybe in all of the
So you are saying when you want to change something,
default
then the
behavior.
default behavior.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in our
Yep.
classes, when we
Mm-hmm.
will be doing practical for I rules, probably you will understand more.
Okay.
It is a very first class. Probably you will not be able to figure out a lot of terms, but it's all right. Whatever you are grabbing, that is fine for me. Okay, you will get these videos and you will get the lab later on. Okay, you need to just work on both of these things. So you, whenever I am teaching something on the lab, I would suggest you also to please create those scenarios on your lab, because you will have a dedicated code for yourself. Okay, so create it for your own purpose. Do lot of practice over it. Any doubts so far? No. Okay, so I forget to tell, let me just repeat now. Our class would be of 2 hours. Okay, and after 1 hour, we will be gonna take break for 10 minutes. Okay, so 1 hour, then 10-minute break, and then we will continue. Let us say we are starting the class at 10 a.m. I'm just giving an example. Till 10:05, we will wait, because you are a single person today. Maybe not an issue for you, but later on when we have multiple of the people, okay, then we need to go for like we can wait for 5 minutes for other people to join, otherwise we will start, because we need to give the regard for everybody for the time. Okay, so 5 minutes we will wait, otherwise we will stop. Any doubt?
It's fine.
Sure. Let's take a 10-minute break then, and we'll meet after 10 minutes. Thank you. Farjana, Farjana, are you there?
Yes, I am back. I am back.
Fine, fine, fine. Great.
So before we
So,
move forward, I just had like one question. For the exam perspective, I mean, like, see, I am very new to the F5 world. Okay, from the exam perspective, for giving the exam of LTM, do we have any prerequisites exam? Like I heard 101, 201, something we have to give the exam of LTM. Is it?
right. So for the exam, probably I will be gonna give you, a look on this slide only. Okay, because you asked. Let me take you that slide first. Give me a minute. Okay,
Hmm.
here you go. Yes. What was your question?
I mean, for giving the LTM exam, do we have
Uh,
any prerequisites exams to give? And if we
See,
have to give this,
101 will include, you were asking for 101, right? So 101 is doesn't mean that it does not require LTM thing. Okay. It required your LTM understanding on the top, some basic understanding like what the VLAN is, what the trunk is, what the port channel is, blah blah. Okay. So
mm-hmm.
those things also it will require.
Okay.
Then you will receive an passing email. Post that you need to do for 201. 201 after 201 you will be named as CA, Certified Administrator.
And in 201, I mean, do we get this classes or something, or is it
No, no,
only
see, let me tell you.
theory? Mm-hmm.
From here to here,
Hmm.
okay, we are touching theory part.
Okay. But for exam, I have to give 101, 201, and then go to 301, right?
So 101 is important, then 201 is important. Post that you can go anywhere.
Mm. So I have to give this exam, then only give LTM exam.
Right.
Otherwise, straight not possible.
No, that is
Not
not.
possible. Okay.
Bit like
No, no, because it's
CCIE,
like, yeah, earlier we can, if we do not give CCNPs, we can give CCI. So
right?
that's what I thought
So
of.
like you can give
Mm,
CCNP and core force, CCI
mm,
enterprise.
mm,
Similarly,
okay, fine.
right? Is it clear now?
Hmm. Okay.
This slide also good?
Yes, good.
Fine. Let me show you this specific slide, which is going to talk about like internal stuff. Maybe you can say hardware thing. Processor, all of you are aware, the central processing unit or the CPU or the very critical component of any computer system named as brain. So here you can see the A is the processor. If we see the inbuilt, stuff inside, like how it look like in the three, 300, sorry, 3K series, I will say. Then you can see the B part is SSL accelerator. So SSL accelerated card means for your encryption, decryption regarding to the SSL performance and efficiency handled by with FI devices, and these SSL accelerated cards are there, okay, which used to provide this SSL to work as seamless in BIGIP platform for your TLS capabilities. So you can see these cards, right? Then C, you can see AOM. AOM stands for always on management. What does it mean is that it is a separate subsystem that provide you light out management. Let us say if you are not able to take the management of the device, okay, this always on module, oh, sorry, management, okay, it it give you the capability that okay, for administration or troubleshooting purpose you can take this access at any point of time. Like in the Cisco devices also we can take the console access, we can take the remote access through the management IPs and all. Similarly here there is one more lightweight management module is there. Then D, you can check 8G CF card. Nothing. The compact flash cards. Same thing, like you can have the removable storage device, like we have in various of the laptops also, digital camera also, right? Same way. Here also we are providing the flash cards. This is little bit, you know. Now we are coming closing to the F5 technologies. Here you can see we have a management port for your out of band management. Okay. So management port is ETH0. Then you can see console failover or USB kind of stuff. That's fine. Here you can see there are some of the ports which can be uplink ports also for your core switches like 10 gig or maybe more than that ports. You can have data ports also for the gigabit like throughput. Now, can you see this? Numbering is on the top to bottom and left to right, which means top to bottom and left to right. Like if we have 4 ports, let us say, okay, numbering will be bit like 1.1, 1.2, okay, 1.3, 1.4, like that. So it is like slot and port. If you have 2 slots, it can be 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, bit like that. Okay. So it is not like it 0 by 0 in your Cisco traditional switches, I will say. Ethernet, fast Ethernet, 10 gig, 25 gig, 100 gig, not like that. It is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, like that.
So the diagram which you showed it, so it will be here will
This,
be 1.1, 1.2 will be down, 1.3, 1.4. Then
yeah,
the other four slot that will be 2.1, 2.2, 2.3,
2.3,
2.4.
2.4. That, that.
2.2 is at the bottom. Okay, LCD panel. And this failover, you have cable. I mean, separate port is there for
Failover
failover.
is the cable which I would be going to talk about in our HA class. Like for high availability, you can build up a failover network using this,
No,
port.
I mean, usually we do not have it. Usually we do it whatever is there on the Ethernet line and uplink. Separate port
We
will
will
not
be
be
gonna
there.
do like that
Mm-hmm.
only. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
if devices are, let us say, within the 100 feet or like there is some range. Okay. Within
Mm-hmm.
that range, if your devices are placed, probably you can use failover cable as
Okay, so depend on the ranges you have that port.
well.
Okay.
Yes, yes. That I will be defining during the HA class.
Okay. Okay.
So real time picture, you can see 3300 of series of FI device. Okay. Now, when you need to establish the connection with F5, let us say it is very new device, okay? You can take the connection through the management or the serial anyway. When you are making it up, you can give any of the IP related to 192.168.1.0/24, subnet to your PC, and F5 will be pre-configured with 192.168.1.245 IP. Some people say that when 245 is converted into hex, it will be equivalent to the F5. So they say that okay, it is the publicity stunt of F5 why they giving this particular IP address. So this is by default IP address. Now let me talk about the by default. Okay, not there. It's all right. I will be gonna talk about in a moment. So when you are just logging out using the CLI configuration utility, you can see you just put a command config and put enter. It will open the configuration utility. It will ask IP address, put the IP address if you wanted to change netmask, okay, management route, and you can just click on yes if you wanted to make the changes. But by default is this is the IP. For Viprion and Big IQ, this is the IP. Vibron is the chassis based switches. Sorry, chassis based devices, FI devices. This is fine.
Okay.
I will show you in the command, like I will show you in the lab whenever we are starting the lab. You will be able
Vibran
to.
is the actual hardware chassis, right?
Yeah, chassis based hardware.
Okay. Chassis hardware. And if we are hosting in some host or a server, ESXi server, that's a normal
Virtual appliance.
virtual appliance. I mean, what will be that called as normal F5?
Virtual appliance.
Normal appliance. Okay.
That is a virtual appliance. It is a hardware appliance. Hardware appliance
Hmm.
can have different like series. It can be I series, okay, like I was talking about earlier, C
Hmm.
series, Velo series, different series.
Okay.
Okay. So whenever you wanted to take the access of your device, either you can go through the GUI, use any of the browser of your choice, okay, and just take the access through HTTPS followed by the IP address. You can take the SSH through the PuTTY, okay, through the management port or through the self IP. What the self IP is, probably I will be going to explain in our next class. You can take the access through the AOM or SCCP or the serial cable. But for now, you can just ignore these things. You can say that through the SSH also you can take, and through the GUI also you can take. Both way are possible in case of FI devices. Okay, and we will be going to learn both of them. Maximum work will be achieved through the GUI, maximum. But let's say when it comes to the troubleshooting, we need to capture a couple of the traffics, then we will be going to use CLI part also. Okay. So whenever you are putting the HTTPS followed by the IP address, such a screen will open in front of you. This is your FI device, one of the FI device snapshot. Okay. So depending upon your provisioning, what the provisioning is bit like you have the device. Okay. On this device, you can provision LTM, you can provision with GTM, ASM, APM. So it depends upon the license. So one thing is the hardware device if you are purchasing that cost. Second is the license cost. In the license, you need to define that, okay, I want a 25 MB of the license for LTM, let us say. So you can utilize only LTM. That device cannot be used for the ASM. But if you are buying a license for LTM and ASM both on the same device, you can use both capabilities. And here, one more field will added with the name of security. Like you can see this global traffic stands for DNS. Okay. Fine.
Yes.
Yeah. I was about to talk about this. Okay. You have some default username and passwords. Whenever you are accessing through GUI configuration utility, you will be using admin, but you are going through the root or through the command line. You need to put root and the password is default. So these are the by default username and password of your F5 big IP devices. Whereas big IQ is separate. Okay, Firepass is separate. How to take the console access? Simply put the IP address, select the SSH and open it. When you open this, it will ask for the username and password. Username is root and password is default. When you enter that default, you will be under the configuration mode. So this configuration mode, what you are able to see, this is the only named as advanced shell for the configuration utility, or maybe you can say the bash utility. So all the Linux related command you can run here. Are you aware about couple of the command for the Linux like cat, ls, very small.
No, I don't.
It's all right. You will get
Yeah.
fair idea. Okay.
CLI of F5, I don't know much. I don't know anything actually.
No, not F5. I'm just talking about Linux.
No, I don't have a background of Linux.
It's all right. So
Yeah.
you will be able to recall couple of the commands when you use in day-to-day, classes during our
Hmm.
classes. So this is one of the Linux utility you can say. On the top of what, if we write down TMSH, we will be under the TMOS mode, Traffic Management Operating System. Okay. That
Okay.
we will be gonna check in the classes when I would be showing you the lab, and I will start with the lab.
Okay.
Now, whenever you have a raw device, you need to do the licensing. Licensing means you need to buy the license from F5, but for our classes, we will be gonna use the lab license, which is valid for 30 days. Okay. How to ask for the this lab license, that I would be gonna talk about later. But you need to have the license, then you will be doing provisioning. After the provisioning, you can do all the other configurations like IP address, VLAN, or whatever. Hmm. Maybe let us wrap it up for today. Will proceed further for tomorrow, or should we continue for the licensing part?
It's up to you. I'm okay. I mean, how much this will continue? Just, I mean,
We
how
can
much time
continue.
will it take it in a one flow?
No, we have 30 minutes. So it's depending upon you because it's your first class. Should I continue? Should I stop for the day? Okay, and continue from tomorrow? Like it's your call.
Actually, I'm free now. You can continue for another half an hour. I mean, if the topic is not gonna break it, or if the topic is gonna take it more than
It will
half an hour,
it
then
will
we
not.
can.
It will not. It will not. Okay.
Okay. Then I think we can
Sure.
continue.
So what you need to do
Hmm.
for licensing, you should have internet available. Okay. So if you have the
Okay.
internet, you need to go to, okay, let me
Actually, I haven't gone through the email. The classes people had sent it me, right? Uh, to download something for the lab. I haven't gone through that.
it's all right. Maybe Zoya will give you all the details. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sharing this link with you. Maybe you can have a look later on as well.
Okay.
Here, if you see the licensing and provisioning,
Mm-hmm.
the very first thing for licensing is obtaining a registration key. This key
Mm-hmm.
will come from FI directly. Okay. For the same, you need to just go to the fi.com and you need to
Hmm.
say that, okay, I wanted to purchase a license. Like if you click over here, you can see it is bringing you somewhere else. Give me a minute.
Hmm.
The lower link you need to use because they have changed a couple of things. So when you click here, you need to log in with your email ID or everything. Let me see if I have.
But for getting this license and installing in the device, I mean, we need to do basic configurations, right? To
No, no, no,
access the
no,
device.
nothing. First thing is first. Okay, it is asking for
Hmm.
CVF. Give me, give me a minute. Let me utilize some other email ID.
Hmm. Just
You
a
should
download.
you should only have the email ID. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
Let us say you are building up a your account. You can just sign up with your email ID. So once your account with you have, okay, send me the code. Zoya, are you there? Zoya, can you please provide me the verification code?
So we can use only one time one email address, right?
Right.
For
So
1 month.
I'm just explaining. Give me a minute. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
176 120. See, once you sign up and logging on this site, can you see there is some trial thing?
Hmm.
It is showing you expiring soon, right? You click
Hmm.
on trial. You don't have this one kind of stuff. But when you click over here, you would be able to see that, okay, you need to open the trial for what? They have different features. Okay, what you are showing, okay, over here. You can see there would be one more feature named as Big IP Virtual Edition. And we
Hmm.
need to click on Start Free Trial, where Big IP Virtual Edition is mentioned. Getting my point? After
Yep.
that, it will say that, okay, setting up your trial for the connect, like here it as it is, setting up the trial. Similarly, it will set up a trial for our this feature also. Let me show you the NetMinion Pro. Where is that link?
Right now you clicked it something else, right? But we have to do it that big
Right,
IP
right, right,
VE.
right,
ठीक
right.
है ठीक है ठीक है Okay.
So once you do that, see,
Hmm.
like here, you will be able to see zero trial. Okay, you click over there for the VE, and there it will bring you on the like start free trial, and you click here, and it will
Hmm.
ask that, okay, are you doing it for the government identity or not? So, but
Hmm.
obvious you are not going for the government, you need to select no. But one thing very important, please give your location, select your location very
Hmm.
cautiously, otherwise your keys will be on hold. You would not be able to see your keys.
What which address should we give it then? Which location?
Location wherever you are residing. Like if you are in Mumbai, give it Mumbai. Don't select the by default location because by default it is US. You cannot able to prove because whenever your IP will go, that IP will reveal that
Okay.
you are in
Just give it
Mumbai.
original. Fine.
Uh, so don't do like that. Okay, whatever your location is, you provide that location. Post
ठीक है.
that within 30 minutes, you will be having this trial. If I will click here, you can see this is nothing, but these are the some keys.
Fine.
You can see 30 days expiring on 18th of September. And these are nothing, but these are some of the keys. Okay.
Yes.
This is the first point. You should have keys. So as per our this specific stuff, okay, it was the old screenshot because in earlier like way they are having their different platform to raise the key. But nowadays, what I gave you the link, you need to generate from there. Once the key is available, like this is the key. Okay.
Hmm.
Once the key is available, you
Hmm.
need to create something named as dossier. Try to understand what all these things are. You will be able to recognize it very quickly, what logic they are introducing. Let me show you why they are doing such a stuff. Let us say you purchase an hardware. Okay.
Hmm.
There is a license which you are taking from the F5. This license can be worked only on one hardware. You cannot have same license work on two devices, right? Otherwise, they will be in loss. So what they are
Hmm.
saying, okay, take the license from us, maybe the keys. I talked about the keys. That key you need to put over here on the hardware. And when you put the key, they will create an encrypted file.
Hmm.
You cannot read that file. That file named is dossier.
Hmm.
Okay. So currently you don't have license. You have the key. From the key, you create a dossier file. When you send this dossier file to F5, F5 will give you a license. And in this license, they are aware that, okay, what is your registration key and what is your hardware stuff, like your
Hardware
CCNP.
details. Yeah,
Uh,
they combine it and give it.
they combine
Okay.
both of these things so that
And
it
generate
is
a
it is
license.
easier for them to recognize that, okay, this license is working on what specific file.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Understood. And so they are like, okay, whatever you maybe you are using our free version of like hardware. I mean, so our virtual plans, but make a unique key for every installation.
True, true, true.
Okay.
The
Hmm.
license
And
will work only on that virtual edition or the hardware edition. You cannot have the same license work on two or more than two devices.
correct. Understood.
One more
Understood.
than one device, maybe. Okay, let me bring back to the slide. So once you have the key, you put this key in the FI device. Where to put it, that I will be gonna talk later on. Okay.
Hmm.
Once you put that key, it will create a dossier. As I told you, in dossier, it will capture your system information. Okay. So dossier file will get created. Post that, you need to bring this dossier file to the FI license server. How to do that? That I will tell you. Don't worry.
Get
Currently,
those your find license.
understand the logic.
Hmm.
So you need to bring it to the application server that, okay, this is my dossier file, and they will generate a license. You need to put that license on big IP unit, and your big IP unit will be activated with the new license. Any doubt? In these five
No,
steps,
no,
any doubt?
no. Understood. Understood.
Uh, so as you can see here, there are two methods for doing this. Once you have the key, either you can select the automatic and all of these steps will be automatically done, or you need to do it by manual way. So automatic means you should have internet connectivity. If you don't have internet connectivity, select manual and you can do one by one step by yourself. Like you have the key. When you pasted the key and click on next, you can see a dossier file is created, which is an encrypted file. You cannot able to see. Okay. Next point is clicking on the license server. Click over here and this will bring up to the public license server site. Okay. When you click over here, you can download or copy that dossier file. But let us say you copied it and open that dossier file, open that license server. Here they will ask that, okay, enter your dossier. Click on next. So you put your dossier, click on the, or you can choose the file also if you downloaded it. Click on the next. They will give you the license. Can you see? And now you can download this license or copy this license and paste in the license field and click on next. And then your device will be licensed. Next thing is you need to do the provisioning. Licensing is okay for you or any question?
Understood. For licensing manual thing I understood, but for automatic you
Automatic,
said like
like automatic
I
means that
need
automatically
a
it will create a dossier, it will upload to the license file, and from there it will download and will be, do the licensing automatically.
so for example, like now I am using Fi virtual appliance in my laptop. Okay, and I have an internet connectivity in my laptop.
No,
So
no, not
somehow can
internet
I
connectivity. No, no, wait.
huh,
Not in your laptop, but in your Fi device. You need to make all the routing part, done priorly before doing this licensing. Not about your laptop, it's about your device. Your device is able to reach to the internet. Okay.
okay, so for virtual appliance can we do that kind of connectivity? I mean,
Everything, like, see, it hardly matter if you have a virtual or you have hardware, because
yeah. No,
even if
I'm just trying to do whether if I can perform that.
you can let me give you a real time example. Have you worked on SD-WAN or any of the SDN technology?
Not, but I had heard it, and I'm my next approach after FI is SD-WAN only. I am gonna learn that only.
It's all right. Welcome to that class also.
Mm.
So all the controllers, all the controllers are the virtual only there. Okay. Maybe because you haven't idea. It's all right. Leave it. Cisco
Hmm.
Prime.
Huh, yeah, I know.
Cisco Prime, right? So Cisco
Yes,
Prime, when you are using Cisco Prime as a virtual edition, that
correct.
that also do have the internet connectivity, right? So basic fundamentals are same.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's jump to the next topic then, which is provisioning. As I told you, on the same box, you can provision LTM, GTM, ASM, whatever you want to do. Okay. What you need to do is you should have a specific resource allocation should be there. Like I'm just giving an example. For LTM, if you require 2 GB. For GTM, let us say you required 4 GB extra. So total 6 GB of unit should be there to do such kind of resource allocations.
Provisioning means dividing your hardware.
Maybe you can say like that. Provisioning means in the same hardware, we can work it as LTM, GTM, ASM, or different modules.
Okay. No, in simple word, if we say what is provisioning.
In simple way, you can say, okay, this device is work as an LTM. This device is work as a GTM. This device is work as ACM. For what you are using this device? Which module you wanted to provision for? So we need to tell that, okay, this device is acting as LTM only, or the GTM only, or the ASM only, or maybe LTM, ASM both. So by default, if you see, there are a couple of these words. Okay. If you can see, there is none. None means that module is not applicable. I don't want to have that module, and it is none. Second, you can use dedicated. Dedicated means give all the resource for that module only. And in general, we don't do this also. Third, you can see nominal. Nominal means nominal means that, okay, whatever resources you wanted to give it for, I am giving those resources. Rest of the resources are spare. And you can provision any other module if required in future. Okay, let me show you. These are the four. Dedicated, nominal, minimum means you are just, uh, you know, crushing the space, like whatever the minimum you can give, you are giving that, but that is not good. Okay, don't use minimum, just use nominal.
Nominal means also like you are dedicating that much of space for it, right? So
Whatever
what will be
required,
the
whatever required, maybe that space is there.
okay? You can take it whatever is required. In minimum, we are setting
Mm.
okay. Use in this limit only. Dedicated. If no use also, you are dedicated. Nominal means
You are
use it
dedicated.
how much, whatever you want. Okay.
Right, right.
Okay.
So you need to provision your device. Okay. Whenever your device is up, you need to provision and you need to say that, okay, for which module you want to do the provisioning. Okay, fine. I hope that
Sir,
is with
enough for today.
licensing. Yeah, that is for licensing and provisioning, and we can conclude it for today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If too much, I mean, in one day, it will go bouncer.
That is why I was asking for.
Yeah, it's okay. No, thank you this much. Yeah.
Okay. So we will meet tomorrow at the same time and we'll lead more. Okay.
Yes.
Till
Okay.
then, great day. Take care. Bye.
Yes, sir. Bye bye. Take care.